What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Neighborhood Podcast. On today's segment, we are going to talk about the super intense AFC West matchup we have coming up this Thursday with the Los Angeles Chargers visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Kyle, it's going to be a tough week one to overshadow, but I think that this game could take the cake. Who do you have coming out on top and why?
This is a really close game for me just because I think both teams are some of the best teams in the league. But I am going to favor Kansas City in this one simply just because I think that Patrick Mahomes and that KC offense, they're just going to be able to do enough on offense to get past this really explosive Chargers offense led by Justin Herbert. This is one of those games where honestly, it could be a shootout. This could be one of those games where both teams could score 30 plus and then the team that wins it gets the ball with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter and ends up going on a game-winning drive to seal it. It's just, I think the Chiefs, after that week one performance they had against the Cardinals, I think they're on cloud nine right now. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was sensational against the Cardinals. He threw 5 touchdowns, threw for over 350 yards passing, only had 9 incompletions to go on top of that. And despite the fact that they lost Tyreek Hill and Demarcus Robinson this past offseason, when they inserted Juju Smith-Schuster and Marcus Valdes-Scantling into the fold, that KC offense continued to hum just like it did with Tyreek Hill back in the day. And look, when it comes to Travis Kelce, you know what you're going to get from him. He's just a model of consistency. He did that exactly in week one, I think, as most of us would expect, having 8 catches to go along with 120 yards receiving and a touchdown to go along with that. I also like the fact that they utilize Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of the backfield, not just with running the football, but in the passing game as well. He's extremely effective in that role, and Pat does definitely like to check it down to him when there's just no separation from any of the receivers that he could throw to. It's just, to me, Pat looks like he's in midseason form already, and that's not a slight against Justin Herbert in any way, shape, or form. I thought Justin Herbert in week one was solid, had 3 touchdowns against the Raiders. It was a relatively close game. Typically, that's how those AFC West divisional games are. They're always close. They're always competitive. But overall, I think the Chargers have every capability to possibly win this game as well. It's not like I think this is going to be a runaway game for KC just because I think this is going to be a one-possession game when it's all said and done. But if I had to put a score on it, I am going to say that KC wins this one. I'm going to say 34-28. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game simply just because I think both offenses are going to be able to score at a consistent rate. I'm just going to favor KC in this one because I have a little more faith in Pat than I do Justin. But, I mean, to be fair, I could see the Chargers winning this one too. So it could go either way, but I am going to favor the Chiefs in this one.
So I'm actually going to go the opposite way, and I'm going to say that the Chargers are going to come out on top, and here's why. Listen, Khalil Mack had 3 sacks by himself against the Raiders last week. And obviously, the Arizona Cardinals were able to get to Patrick Mahomes, no sacks, but they were able to knock him down about 6 or 7 times. I think with the combined force of Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, it is going to be a massacre. And we're going to see something similar to where Patrick Mahomes is going to be running for his life like he did in the Super Bowl against the Buccaneers. Maybe not to that magnitude, but I do believe that those two together are going to make his life a living hell, which is going to keep him unsettled, which is going to keep that offense out of a rhythm, and they're going to have to rely on running the football. And I think that that is going to provide Justin Herbert with a lot of opportunities for this offense to soar and continue to move forward. I understand that they only allowed 21 points against the Arizona Cardinals, but Justin Herbert is a better quarterback right now than Kyler Murray, and I believe that this offense with Keenan Allen playing this week is going to make a significant difference. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout. I'm not even saying it's going to be a double-digit game, but I will say it's going to be similar to what Kyle said, except I'm going to go with about 28-21, maybe even 28-24, because I do think that Justin Herbert is going to struggle against this Kansas City reawoken pass rush with Carlos Dunlap and obviously Chris Jones and Frank Clark. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but I think that Justin Herbert will finally beat the Kansas City Chiefs.